is crap. Stop wasting your time watching bot-boosted shills and self-appointed gurus cloying for your attention. Instead, join the Gosslings interview live stream and podcast. The Gosslings, a dark-lit digital speakeasy of free thinkers. A super chat of radical truth-seeking wizards who eat trolls for second breakfast. Topics that'll make your mama's hair stand on end. Ideas that'll make your pastor's knees knock. Guests that will illuminate the hidden chambers of your mind. And interviews that strike down the darkness. Welcome to the Gosslings.
You can change into the De Niro, the de facto De Niro. How you doing, John?
Good. How you guys been?
Good. Long time no talk, man. It's been a while.
I know. Well, we stay in touch a little more than we have, so that's good news.
Yeah. For sure. How's the book coming?
The
book sales. Yeah, Just A Typo.
Not bad. I mean, the audio book jacked it up a little bit, and then it goes up and then it comes back down, and I got to do some things. So, what I didn't even realize I could be doing with your show and some other ones is just go get the recording, download it, and then just make minute snippets and put those up on Instagram. Like I mean, you guys know that. I just never thought to do that. I was on another podcast a few weeks ago, and then one a month or two ago. I should just be taking little clips, and that's my content.
What?
So,
John, you've been cheating on us? How dare you?
Well, if you allow me to use
it's an open relationship.
You're live anymore.
What I do is awesome. So this whole recorded interview, I upload the entire thing to our patrons. They get to see the whole thing.
Right. People who are paying. Right.
And
hi,
then
everybody.
By the way, this is John Bennardo.
Yes.
So if I just say like right now, you just
don't worry.
You'll get it.
It'll come out of the YouTube, but it'll be in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure.
Like a Tourette's person, just get all the words out.
Well, if you're listen, the patrons are paying, so you know what?
Give them. Yeah, you got right. Money's worth.
John, I just got
some stuff that didn't make the show.
I gotta go back to church now. Oh my gosh.
So you'll do an intro. My point is, like, we're on, but we're not on. So you'll do an intro and you'll put it together. And
it's like we didn't anticipate
just learning as we were going. We didn't really know at the time. Yeah, then we got our head slapped.
Yeah, we didn't know we were bad until we.
So I did a quick story. I did a podcast. Was it last Sunday or the Sunday before? It was called the Cheap Whiskey Aficionado Podcast. Kind of like you guys. They're brand new. I probably was one of their first 10 guests.
Cool.
And they did a live YouTube, and so I actually was curious, like, because I was on, but I think they had a something that was cutting back and forth. So I want to know like what was on it. So I actually took my phone and I went on live, and I was watching it on my phone. I could glance at my phone, so I could see what everything was going on the screen, but I could see what actually was being broadcast on my phone.
Yes.
So long story short, I that was one view. I said, let me help these guys out. So I opened up another browser and I logged in with a second brbrowser. And that was two. They didn't know that they were both me, but they only had two people watching live, and they were both me.
Both you, yeah, yeah. We have some friends that we try to boost who don't have a lot of watch hours. They have at least as many subscribers as we do, or if not more. But they just, because of the nature of their show, we're long form interview, right. And they're more short stuff, so they don't have a lot of watch hours. So they haven't gotten monetized yet. So it's totally in the vein of the algorithm spirit to create multiple YouTube or multiple Google accounts, log in, open up multiple windows, each under that account, and then go to YouTube with those accounts, pull them up one at a time, and just run through the playlist. Set it to autoplay on that person's channel, and just run through the playlist.
Exactly. And when I do a live premiere on my $2 bill channel, which is my popular channel, I usually do a live premiere. I got 25 people on there pretty consistently who come on and watch the premiere, and I do a live chat. But 4 of them are my accounts: my son's account, my $2 bill account, my business account, my personal account, one of my alter. And then I call my buddy in California, and he signs on with his wife's account and his son's account. It's like I got 28 people here, but I think 8 of them are me pumping the
It's basically the Netflix conundrum where I can't remember which comedian it was, but there's a comedian out there who has a bit that there are probably only actually 5 people who pay for Netflix.
Yeah.
And everybody else just shares each other's, email,
each other's login.
their login stuff, But the great thing about what we do now is after we record the interview, the following week when we air it as a live stream where, like Nick said, we have a live intro and then usually an intermission that we come back live, and then we come back for an outro. But in between it, the whole time we're in the chat.
Yeah, we're in the live chat.
So we're still able to, it's a great way to do it, because you still are able to talk to all of your friends and all the people who are interested in your show or your guest, but you're also safe because you've already vetted the entire interview, and you've edited whatever you need to edit.
Plus, you can take a clip. Like, let's say we're going to start talking about the parody I did. You can take 30 seconds of it if you want to show it. Say, let's check out a clip, and you don't have to figure out how to do it live and queue it up and share your screen. You just go download it. You just drop it into your edit.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a killer format. If you ever, if
I'm going to check it out. I'll check it out probably when we sign off. I'll go to your channel and watch some videos with 5 of my channels, help you guys out.
Yeah, appreciate it.
That.
Yeah,
Thank
appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, but we really, we have really fallen into, when we first started interviewing you, we were really just doing what was natural, which was we're writers. So we were interviewing other writers and we were talking about writing. And then as time went on, the Gosslings has basically, the Lord had other plans, I guess, because the Gosslings has turned into more of a Christian fringe, conspiratorial prophecy kind of esoterica kind of. It's taken on a different identity.
Yeah,
which is fine, and that's great, and it's helped a lot of people. It's really, not to use like a churchy word, but it's really like sometimes ministered to a whole lot of people.
It has.
I say that as humbly and like unassumingly as
basically
possible.
We would, we started getting guests that would talk about things that people would want to know about, like people who were Christians. They'd want to talk about, they had questions about, but they would never go to their church with those questions,
or their pastor would never talk about them,
or they would and they just wouldn't get any answers because the pastors or the religious leaders, so to speak, were like, I don't want to talk about that. I have nothing to say about that.
And I would love to watch you more. My idea was always to watch you guys, but every Sunday night, like 5:30 when you were live, it's like just not the best time to turn it on for me personally, right? So either either we're having dinner or I'm watching the Dolphins game when it's
football game.
Like, so I'm like, so I mean, if you guys were on like Tuesday night, I probably would turn it on every Tuesday night. But on Sunday at 5:30, it was just, it's tough. And so again, I'm gonna make excuses. I love you guys. I love the fact that you have me on. I want to watch your show and support it, but it's like that timing is tough. But now I can watch it whenever.
You can. And like Nick was talking about earlier, since we are booked out so far in advance, we have started trying to do midweek streams that actually are live, like our old format. They're shorter. They're usually, around an hour or so. But in order to take pressure off so that we're not having to book our friends or, awesome guests out into August, we say like, hey, Nick's free Wednesday night, at like 7 p.m. Are you available 7 p.m.? And that's worked out really well. Like those are really more fun, which is kind of like, I like doing this with you, John, because like we cover a lot of heavy stuff and
dark, heavy, spiritual, paranormal, religious type stuff,
which is great. But dude, it wears you thin, honestly.
Yeah, well, that's not how I know you guys. Like I can't, I might not watch those shows. I want to see you guys. I want to see you guys cutting up something, or having fun, or doing something.
Well, and that's what we want to do too. We want to keep that alive, and the whole. During all those interviews that we have, like every guest that we've had, we've tried to intentionally keep it a little lighter with them. Yeah. And
no one's crying.
Yeah, exactly. So we want to keep it light. But to have a guest on like you, where we can just kind of let our hair down a little bit.
And have fun.
Yeah, and have some fun. It's like you gotta have that respite.
Yeah.
It's like a retreat.
Well, I'm like game. I mean,
retreat Bennardo.
Yeah, good. Let's do it. I mean, I don't know. I know you're recording. I don't know if this will be part of the show. Your Patreon people will watch it, but I mean, we haven't really started doing what we're here to do. So, I mean, you want to start talking about Weird Al or whatever else? I mean, I'm
baby.
Here.
Yeah, let's do.
Why Weird Al? John Bennardo, author of Just a Typo.
What do you mean? Why Weird Al? What context?
Why do you like Weird Al, and what is it about Weird Al that resonates with you?
Okay, well, first of all, humor, anything that's funny is in my wheelhouse. Secondly, it's not humor that you can create by writing a joke. You are given a format. The song has X number of beats, X number of syllables. It already exists. How do I take an existing something and change it to make it funny? I can write an original song that's funny, great. But if I have to take your lyrics and your beat and your rhythm and your syllable count and make it work, I think that's just, it's funny and clever. And I'd rather be funny, and I'd rather laugh because it's funny, but I'd also want to laugh because it's cleverly funny, because I appreciate what it took to come up with that, if that makes any sense. So when I hear, I guess back in the day when I was a kid and he did, eat it. Well, beat it, eat it, and then you have to make it line up. It has to line up, the verse. And so, and I'm sure as you try to write that, you run into some problems. And I've seen bad parodies, and bad parodies. I mean, we could talk about what makes a bad parody and a good parody. I was thinking of this earlier today.
Yeah.
But bad parodies are not funny because they don't, they're not clever. I mean, the perfect example, I'll get into, I mean, we're going off topic here, but the De Niro parody that I made, there was somebody else on YouTube who did one, and it sucks. It sucks because it's, I mean, the idea, so I could see the person going, I guess your audience, you should maybe preface to your audience what I'm talking about. Go ahead, I'll shut up for a minute and you can tell them what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
Yeah, so John, you did a video, Robert De Niro, where you parodied Taylor Swift. Which song was it of Taylor Swift's that you parodied?
Anti-Hero.
Anti-Hero.
Now it's Robert De Niro.
Yeah, and it is exactly as you described. You are matching, the beats and the word count and the flow, and you are doing something that is clever and humorous, and it's irreverent, it's poking fun, but it's not mean, it's fun, and there's a lot of skill that goes into that. Like, parody seems like a real challenge. I've never done it because it's just too much work.
Well, that's why, again, that's another reason why I like Weird Al, because it's not easy to sit down and do what he does. It's not easy to come up with lyrics that match perfectly and make sense. I mean, because I guess the point I was getting at was this other person's Robert De Niro parody is just him saying, he did Awakenings and Untouchables, and he was born in 1945, 45. And I'm like, that's not funny. I mean, that's somebody going, ooh, that'd be funny to rhyme De Niro with anti-hero. Now, what am I going to say? I'm going to list movies that he was in. Well, big freaking deal. I mean, that's not.
Where's the joke?
Yeah, where's the joke?
Right. And so, and I had the same problem. I said, ooh, De Niro, great. And then I started doing exactly what I just described. And I'm like, I can't do this. There's got to be cleverness to it. So you have to come up with a storyline behind it. And the storyline was the singer will be somebody who's so incredibly addicted to Robert De Niro. And that's what he sings about. And so in listing the songs, you're not just listing the songs, you're listing like what I'm getting out of each song. And that's why there's like a line that like, I'll stare directly at the screen amidst a swarm of locusts, and then there's So like, in other words, this is how much I love Robert De Niro as a character. That I will sit there in the theater, even if there's a tornado whirring by me. And that becomes part of the. And now all of a sudden you have, as a writer, you have some place to go, because that's what this all boils down to. It's writing. I mean, you have my book sitting there, and I'm a writer. I'm not a song parody person, but I like it. And my main character in the book is a song parodyist, whatever that word, song parodist, whatever. So, and I just got because I think we were going to have this conversation, I think that registered in my subconscious. And so I said, I'm going to actually do this De Niro parody. But it comes back to the writing. Like, how do I write it so that it's clever and funny? And it does not come easy. Is the point.
Do you mind if I get it teed up right now?
Go ahead. Yeah, sure. Show it.
Let me tee it up.
While you do that, I'll tell you what, I'm going to turn off my camera for a second, and I'm going to come back with a wardrobe change.
I can never do this kind of stuff. I am nowhere near disciplined.
Okay.
I love that shirt, John.
And he magically changes into the shirt.
Did you have that shirt made?
No, I'll tell you that story in a second.
Okay, good.
You're gonna let it run? Let it run, and then I'll.
Yeah.
All right, folks.
Here we
are.
go.
Robert De Niro.
Song parody of Taylor Swift's Anti-Hero
by John Bennardo.
Counselor! Come out wherever you are.
I have this thing where I like actors who play violent psychos or who can play the saxophone. There's just one person with the range to star as Bernie Madoff and ruthless gangster Al Capone. I loved how this guy messed with Gaylord Fokker. He played a boxer, won Oscars, caught a ball from a doctor, then threw it back. He died in Bangladesh slowly and schemed as young Corleone, serving some hot macaroni. Planned his attack. If he's on a front row seat, gave fear, heist, analyze the sortie. I'll stare directly at the truth, even amidst tornadoes. It's so damn addicting watching films that star Robert De Niro. I have been hooked since he shot up his Vietnamese captors, or uttered, "You're talking to me." He's been an actor, former cop, a sports fan, thief, and special op, plus both the devil and a priest. Did you know that he turned down Dick Tracy, but won't say no to Scorsese? Their films are so good, innately plays a wise guy. Goodfellas made my spine tingle. He even once played Chris Kringle and took Rocky and Bullwinkle. Can't explain why. If he stars, I'm the first in line. Me streets, stone, even Frankenstein. I'll stare directly at the screen amidst a swarm of locusts. It's so damn addicting watching films that star Robert De Niro. I had this dream where I was hired to work in motion pictures, and I could choose one scene to act. I picked the Irishman, the scene with he and Jimmy Hoffa, so I could be the one he whacked. If he stars, I'm the first in line, the front row. That's where I'll be confined in the Bronx till everybody's fine, and even showtime. If he stars, I am at the first show. This boy's life, and of course Casino. I'll stare directly at the screen amidst an alien invasion. It's so damn addicting watching films that star Robert De Niro.
Well done, sir. So good.
The head tilt at the end, turn around and go.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
All I can think of, there's so many things to talk about there, but all I can think of watching it is the day. I'll never forget the day I'm home alone shooting myself in front of a green screen, acting like I'm in front of a movie theater and sitting in a lawn chair like I'm in front of it. It's all green screen behind me. And it's just me home by myself, setting up the camera, framing it right, sitting down, trying to see what it looks like, and then running over there, pushing record and running back in. I got the song on my phone and I'm playing it underneath so I can sing along. I mean, it was just like, if anybody would have walked in at that moment, they would have been like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Who is this madman? We need and you're in Florida, so they can Baker Act you, right?
Yeah, and they probably still should, to be honest with you.
This is why I don't move to Florida.
That was one of my fears when we were out in the backyard shooting your Scotsman.
Oh,
you
yeah.
Dressed up like a Scotsman. You had the big sword. You're like, freedom. And then you flashed my whole neighborhood with your kilt.
Yeah.
And we're in a cul-de-sac, so every single neighbor got to see it.
Yeah. And I have some American flag silkies underneath,
Oh,
some silky,
glorious.
some Ranger shorts.
So none of your neighbors watched the show, I'm sure.
Probably not. No.
I don't
No.
know.
Now you would actually find that pretty funny. I don't know if we've ever. I'll send that stuff to you later on.
Yeah,
I don't think we've shown that to a lot of people, but you would appreciate it. And it's good research for the project that we're working on, actually, because they are the same characters. So,
Well, we talked about doing that. That's a conversation for off camera, I guess. But we're going to do something where we do a skit. But that's coming.
yes.
Yeah.
But that was
That's a
another
good
thing
idea.
that we're talking for the audience's knowledge. We were going to do something together, and like, how do we shoot together when we don't live near each other? I was like, well, we do green screen. We write a script, and then we shoot each other in front of a green screen, and we merge the shots and put the background. And it looks like the three of us can be doing something.
Yeah.
So that was trying to come up with some things on my end, and I guess that the Taylor Swift thing became what I ended up doing. I said, I'm not going to wait for those guys. I'm doing this myself.
I'm not going to wait for those jokers.
So I mean, and it's funny because it's the same haircut I was watching. This is the long end of that haircut that you saw in the video.
Nice.
My hair was almost too short, so this is like, I think I shot that on the last day of February, the 28th. Yeah, so that's 25 days ago I filmed.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And this
How
is
long
the same haircut.
How long did it take you to make that video?
Well, let's see. First, I had to write it, but I wrote it at work. Like when I was bored at work, I kept scheming, playing with it, and that's not me singing. I think I told you guys that, right? That's not me.
I didn't know that. No, I thought it was
that
you.
is not me. I tried to sing it. I did. I said, I'm going to sing it, and I put this mic right here, and I sang it, and it's god awful. God awful.
Does that file exist,
which is funny because I've done 2 other parodies which are on that same YouTube channel 10 years ago when we had the presidential debates in Florida and I worked for a university. I did 2 of them. One of them I dressed like Kermit the Frog. I don't know if you saw that one or not.
No,
and one of them I was a long-haired rocker. You go check the channel.
Saw that one.
They're presidential related debate. They were good, but I sang them and they, one of them I sang like this because it was Dire Straits, said it was okay that my voice sucked. And the other one was Kermit the Frog. So it was, I was playing a little banjo in the forest, and I didn't really have to have a good voice because I was Kermit the Frog. Yeah. Someday, it worked. But this one, I'm no Taylor Swift, and it was just god awful. I said, I can't do it. So I went on Fiverr, and I started finding, I will sing for you. I'm searching for who can sing. And so I started finding people and had a few people audition. This guy's overseas, but I said, you know what? He sounds enough like me that it would pass for me.
It worked.
It cost me $17.
Oh, and he sang awesome. Wow.
So I was like, you know what? That's worth $17.
That's more than you can make in a day pulling a rickshaw.
Well,
maybe.
Well, it's more than a video will ever make because it's not monetized yet. And even if it was, it's only got like 100 views. So it's not getting that money back anytime soon. But no, but he sang it, so I had to just lip sync it. And when you say how long it took, so there's the writing, and then I had to find somebody to sing it, and then I had to wait for him to sing it, and then I had to find all the clips. So it's hard to say if I really had to quantify the number of hours. And then the day that I shot, I would shoot something like, let's say the part where I was sitting in front of the movie theater in the lawn chair, I would immediately bring it back in here where I edit and put it in and make sure it works. Because if it doesn't work, I got to go back and reshoot it before I change the green screen from, a wide body and change my shirt. So I had to make sure it worked, especially with the tornado, because actually that's the whole reason when you talk about the shirt, that was the tornado thing.
Yeah.
Because that's actually, it looks like the tornado passed and I totally, I'm wrecked. I had to do that 2 different times of the day and had to make sure it matched. So I would do it and run in here and edit it. And if it didn't work, I'd have to go back. So before I could clean myself up or something, I had to make sure I had it and that it worked. Because if I have it, but then the other shot doesn't match. So there's a story behind how I ended up with these shirts. I did not think to wear a shirt with De Niro on it. And of course, in hindsight, how could I not? Because the character loves De Niro and he's singing about it. So how could I had a blue t-shirt on. I have 3 of the same exact t-shirts. So I said, ooh, I can ruin one of them. Mm-hmm. So I woke up one morning and I said, I'm going to start by doing the tornado shot where I look like crap. I didn't shave. So I had stubble and my bags under my eyes. And, I went out and I literally rubbed some dirt on my face from, I tore the shirt and I sat there and I did the post part of it where the tornado's the after. Then I showered and I shaved and I cleaned myself up and I put the same shirt on, but it was a second shirt. So it worked out. Oh, I have 2 of the same shirt. I just have to ruin one of them. And then I'm editing it and I go, wait a second. He would have a De Niro shirt on. I was like, oh my God, how did I not think of that? Stupid. And I was like, I'm not going to reshoot it. I want to get this done. I'm impatient. I said, no. I said, it's going to be so much funnier if you're wearing a De Niro shirt. So right then and there, I did some Googling and found this on eBay for $22.95. And then the other one, the green one that's in the video with his face on it, where if you look at the thumbnail of the video, it's literally the same pose. Did you happen to catch that? If you pull up the thumbnail, find the thumbnail and you will laugh. It's funny to me. It's the funniest thing about the video is the thumbnail. if you can put it on the screen.
Hold on, let me pull it up here.
Because in that shirt, there's only one picture of De Niro, and it's from Cape Fear.
Oh,
And
yeah.
So on the TV behind me, if you look at the face and the shirt, it's the exact moment in time. That's
I'm pulling
Am I
it
right?
up. It's taking a second.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
it
fine.
is. Oh, look at that. That's
I don't know if anybody
hilarious.
picks up on that, but that's like the greatest
Oh,
thumbnail
yeah.
ever.
I see that. I see it.
So De Niro's like, and I matched it for the thumbnail.
Perfect.
But I thought it was the greatest
Genius.
thing to have his Anyway, so I was doing this on a Tuesday when I'm home alone, and I work from home, supposedly, working that day. I hope nobody from work's watching this now, but on that particular day, I didn't really do a whole lot of work. Edit that out. Edit that out. Edit that out. If anybody from work joins your Patreon, they can see it. But anyway.
Yes.
No, so then I was like, oh, I can't finish this today. I had the whole day I was going to do this. So I had to order 2 shirts because I knew I had to ruin one of them because I have to do the tornado. So I thought this one would be better to wear. So I said I can't wear the same shirt because hypothetically the tornado ruined my shirt. So anything that comes in the video after that, I can't be wearing that shirt anymore.
Yep.
Not that anybody's going to pick up on it, but so I need.
But you will.
Shirts.
You'll know.
I will. But I do wear
details, and you're worried that everyone else is seeing nothing but that.
Yeah, like didn't that shirt get ruined? Yeah,
exactly.
I am wearing it in a couple of short spots later on, but this I thought was just absolutely hysterical. I mean,
awesome.
Believe me, there are people who watch our videos that would absolutely comment on, an incongruence between those two details. They would point it out, and they would definitely have to comment. And say something.
Yeah.
So I had to buy 2 shirts, and now because I don't own, I almost bought 3 shirts because I was going to buy 2 of the green one, but I was like, then I'll rip one. I was like, no, I'm not going to spend another $25 just to rip a shirt. I said, now I have to do it in the opposite order. So now instead of waking up unshaven, unshowered, I said, well, I'm going to do the front part where I look normal, and then I literally went outside and dirtied myself up and wet my head and ripped the shirt. Now there was no turning back because I didn't have another one. So I had to strategically figure out how to shoot it so that I was done with that shirt so that I could tear it up and ruin it and do the second half of the tornado. So anyway, that's a long, boring story, but it was, I had to think it through, and then I had to think about standing in front of the movie theater, and I had to think about sitting in the movie theater, which was green screen. I'm not actually in a movie theater. That's a green screen.
Right.
I had to find a chair in my house with arms, and and I draped a green curtain over it so that it would all disappear because I had to sit like this with my hands so that they were. Yeah, so if you watch it, my arms aren't perfectly lined up on the armrests. Again, one of my small regrets, but nobody notices that stuff.
No, but no one ever realizes the amount of attention to detail, time, and effort that goes into making something like that. Because it's what, a 4-minute, 5-minute video.
Not even. I think it's 3. Yeah.
And we're talking, and I mean, we get it. Because we have editors and cover artists, and I mean, the idea of you gesticulating in front of a green screen and rubbing dirt on your face, alone in your house, that really speaks to my heart, John, because
got any B-roll? You got any
yes, Steve.
I have all the outtakes.
Yeah.
I mean, I almost should queue one up. My goodness, I should queue one up.
Oh, you totally should.
Do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn on my hard drive and find something, but
while you're doing that,
so I guess it's going to turn on, and then
Are you so Robert De Niro fan? Are you Bronx Tale or Casino, Robert De Niro? If you had to choose,
well, it's funny because I mean I like De Niro and I like his movies, but I wouldn't say that I'm a fan the level of what I wrote and portrayed in the piece.
Yeah.
I like Goodfellas.
Goodfellas.
Yeah, no, it's a hard choice, but I think Casino. But I like the mobster stuff. I think that's cool. But it was funny when I was trying to do the lyrics and I was researching all his films. I didn't know he did some of his old stuff that we replayed the saxophone. I can't think of what New York. Liza Minnelli. He did a movie with Liza Minnelli where he played the saxophone. I didn't know that. Bang the Drum Slowly. I didn't know I didn't know what Bang the Drum Slowly was. He's a baseball player. He's a New York Yankee. I'm a Yankee fan. It's like, how did I not know that he played a Yankee fan that was dying? I mean, I don't know. So I learned a few things, and I didn't know he made a movie with Eddie Murphy called Showtime. The thing must have bombed. I never.
Yeah. I vaguely remember that one going over like
it was actually, I actually liked it.
Really?
Yeah.
I have to go watch it. I don't think I ever even knew it existed.
Yeah, I remember when it came out, but I never saw it. Huge Ronin fan though.
And that I have not seen, believe it or not.
Dude, that is an awesome action thriller. It's not a spy movie, but it's a thriller. You know, him and Jean Reno. Sean Bean has a small part in it.
Yep, I saw that because I looked it up on YouTube.
Oh, dude, it's good. Yeah.
I actually made an Excel spreadsheet. This is how I wrote it. I had to make an Excel spreadsheet where I went on Wikipedia and IMDb and I wrote down every movie he was in, and then next to it was a column with the name of every character. Not too many, like Rupert Pupkin. You know, you might know who Rupert Pupkin is from The King of Comedy, but not many people the character by name.
Okay. Yeah.
So I said maybe there's a situation where if I'm looking for a rhyme, I can use the character's name. And then also like what his job was, which is where I get that line. He also played a devil and a priest because I knew he was a devil. And so then you start looking at your columns and go, okay, I need to say something. Oh, the priest. Now that rhymes with, and you just start pulling from the column so I could keep all my potential words organized. That's what Weird Al does. I read something that he writes down every potential rhyme and thing that he can think of that might work.
Oh, wow.
So he spends a lot of time just putting words down that he can play with.
Yeah,
that are synonyms or homonyms or anything, and then he builds it. So I kind of did this. I had a big spreadsheet, which I would show you, but I think I trashed it. But I don't need it anymore. But it helped. I mean, because then I could look and say I need something that rhymes with, or and then you start changing lines just to make the words fit. So anyway, to answer your question from a while ago, it took me a while. Let's put it that way. A day of shooting, editing, pulling clips from YouTube, writing it, getting a musician, everything. So way too much time. People watch go, you have too much free time. I don't, but I somehow just squeezed this thing out. I said, you know what, I want to get this done, and I just sat there and did it.
Yeah, well, once a project grabs you, I mean, you'll make time.
Yeah.
Plus, I figured it's not even timely anymore because the song's been out for too long. But I was like, every time I wait, another chance that somebody comes out with another parody, or somebody else comes out with a De Niro parody, and that's when I went online and I saw this other one and I panicked. I was like, oh no, someone's done it. And I watched it and went,
yeah, it sucks. Yeah,
you should have done a parody. So the what was it, the Emmys or the Oscars or the Grammys? The Grammys.
Oh, the Grammys
were recently, and Sam Smith did his song Unholy. It's like this very satanic. The song is called Unholy. Oh, anyway, you should have done something to the tune of like cannoli. That would have been so
it's all
good.
Just a bunch of fat mobsters.
Well, you know what? Here's another. My original thought for the parody was to use the word hero to mean a sandwich, a hero sandwich.
Oh yes.
So I was I don't know what the name of the thing would have been. It wouldn't have been anti-hero. It would have been something hero. And I was like. When she says, I stare directly at the sun, I was going to say, I stare directly at the bun. There's all sorts of. And I was like, ooh, okay. And then I was like, I just got to come up with anything that has to do with a sandwich, all the condiments, all the things you can top it with, all the store. I was like, I'll do a hero. But you know what? I was like, Weird Al does food all the time. There goes my mic. My mic is falling. And I was like, I don't want to do food. I mean, it's just not. I don't think it's original to do food because I don't know.
It's a bit of low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's how funny can you make it? Now, while we're talking, I'm also queuing up my edit system here, and I'm going to try to find. I don't know what's the best way to show. I'm almost embarrassed that some of these are.
You should be able to screen share on your end. There should be an option down at the bottom.
Okay.
Let's see here.
You're lucky. I like you guys, man. I'm going to share this.
You're the man, dude. You're the man. Oh, this is going to be great. Okay, now let me.
It's short. Like I said, if I had time to prep it, I would have given you the best, funniest take for outtake purposes. But this I just grabbed.
John, this is like a solid power move on your part to just be like, yeah, here it is. Here you go, baby. Watch.
This is the really reals, baby.
Yeah. And we're all about that.
It's probably not the take I used. Okay, so that's what it looks like.
All right, here we go. I'm going to hit play.
I'm almost cowering in embarrassment.
I'll stare directly at the screen amidst a swarm of locusts. It's so damn addicting watching films that star a parody hero. One worse in case I happen to nail it.
That's it.
That is awesome. I love it. That is so cool. You basically are in a Star Wars prequel.
Yeah. That's how I spent. Literally, it was 9 to 3 in my house to get my son from school at 3.
Oh yeah.
I had to finish and clean up. And the last shot that I did was the dirt on my face other one, which is another take I should have pulled up. But I should pull that one up too. But no, I had to clean up and I had to move the couch forward because I had a green screen. But so when you're actually watching the part where I'm sitting in the living room, that's not my living room. That's a virtual set, like I told you we were going to do maybe for our own video. So that's my couch, but I put a green screen behind me, and then I found stock footage of a living room with a window in the back, and the window was a green screen. So, and the brick wall was undecorated. So I actually put the Robert De Niro movie posters on the wall behind me. So I had to decorate my own virtual set.
Oh,
so
wow.
And I had to kind of, angle them so that it looked like the perspective was right. So it looks like they're hanging on the wall. And then the window, I picked a backyard background and put that behind. So I've got like layers of, it was almost like compositing Photoshop. So it's me and my couch, and then a fake background behind me with a green screen in that, with a backyard behind the green screen there, and two Robert De Niro posters on the wall behind me. And then when the aliens come in at the end, I had to have the spaceship drop in, and I had to make it move back and forth and put a sound effect in, woo, woo, and then I had all the aliens coming out of the ship. Yeah. I got to pay for that stock footage, and I wanted aliens that were like moving and stuff, but I just found one that had 3 still aliens. I just, would reverse them. So it's really the same alien over and over, and just make them different size. So that took a while to like have 15 aliens come out of the ship. And again, it's like, this is how you're spending your day and your evening.
So much time to do that stuff. It takes so much time.
And you have to really think about all the details like that. I mean, and it pays off, John, honestly, because you say that was one stock image of an alien that you just flipped around,
Well, it's an stock footage with 3 different aliens on it.
3, and then you rotated,
they're all green screen.
Mirrored them.
Yeah, right. Mirrored them. So I used 2 or 3 different aliens.
Dude, it looks great.
Yeah, it looks
honestly.
The sound effects. Then you realize, I don't have the sound effect in there, and you go, in order to make it believable, you got to hear a space. So I had to look up, and put that in there, and I literally had the ship drop in and sit there, and then I was like, it has to look. So now I had to add like little, so that it looked like it was hovering and moving back and forth. So these are all little like 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, to make it right. And next thing you know, you're up at 1 a.m. You're like, oh, I gotta add more alien sounds,
And you have to reset everything before the family comes home. You have to erase all the evidence. I
don't think my wife even knows I made it. I haven't shown it to her. She hasn't seen it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I'm not hiding it. It's not like I don't know. I just was like, I don't know. It's just, this is look, honey.
Look what I made. Aren't I
In
cool?
fact,
I just threw this together. I threw this together over lunch.
I got to remember to take this shirt off when I'm done, because I'll just walk right out there for dinner, and she'll be like, "What are you wearing?" Oh, about that.
I have something to tell you.
Well, I think it was funny. I mean, maybe she's even seen it, but I don't know. I just, for whatever reason, don't want. I never want anybody to know like what I'm doing while I'm doing it. Like I went on Wheel of Fortune. We've talked about that on other shows. She was able to be with me in case I got to the bonus game. You can have a family member sitting there, and then she'd come out and hug you if you win. And I was like, no, I don't want you there. I don't want you watching me on the show. She's like, I'm going to see it on TV. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's fine. That's not live. I don't want to look over and know that you're watching me, because I'll either make a face, or it might affect my performance, or might affect something, knowing that, oh my God, she's gonna. I don't know where that comes from, but you get it, right, Nick?
I totally get it. I totally get it. I'm the same way. I'm the same. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I just I don't want her to come home and see me with doing this with the shirt and the green screen, the living. I mean, I took the whole living room and moved everything out.
There is a privacy aspect to some sort of artistic pursuit like that. Like Nick does all of I didn't know Nick had published a book. I've been a writer for 20 years trying to get traditionally published. I didn't know that Nick had written and published a book until he told me he had published it. His first one.
And you guys are supposedly close.
Right? Yeah, we live 2 minutes from each other.
We are. We've always been close.
Thanks, John. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, John.
But we weren't getting together for writers night. That's how this whole thing started. Yeah. We didn't start getting together to do that until, after I had a book done and he was working on his.
Yeah.
Because I was just kind of getting into writing, and I knew that he had been doing it for a long time. So when I finished that project, he's like, how did you get it published?
Yeah.
So anyway,
that's
what all started. I don't like talking
people
about
knowing
stuff.
what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't want people knowing
I'm much less likely to finish a project if I tell somebody about it while I'm doing it too. And I don't know why that is, but if I talk about the project while I'm in the middle of doing it, all the excitement's gone. I like keeping the secret until I'm done.
I would agree with that, except
going.
for when I made my $2 bill documentary, I had a Kickstarter. And so obviously a lot of people knew I was doing it, but that was actually good because that was a long project and now I had to finish it because people gave me
that's
money.
the thing. That's the thing.
So now everybody knows, but now
you have to finish it.
Yeah. So, if I start doing the Taylor Swift video and everybody knows about it, and then for whatever reason I get bored or I don't think it's working, I can't give up because everybody's waiting on it. So at least I know I can pull the plug, or if it takes me, if I got to wait 3 weeks for maybe for my hair to grow back or whatever, maybe I had to match a shot. I have to wait till my hair looks the same because I got a haircut and I have to reshoot it. Now at least I don't have to tell people where it is. I just do it. Say, hey, guess what? Boom, here it is.
Yeah.
So that's it's exactly exactly what it is. So nobody really knows what I was doing. My living room was upside down. I had to clean. It was like a Brady Bunch episode where I'm cleaning up the house, put the table back, put the green screen away, put the camera away, and then I run out, pick up my son. We walk back in the house.
Yeah,
everything's the same as it was. But I don't know what you're talking about.
The double life of John Bennardo. You could have been a spy, John.
Yep. But this shirt was these shirts came, and actually the blue shirt that I told you about earlier. Hold on, I think my dog wants to get out. Hold on. Go out.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I thought I heard a dog in there. I heard your dog making some noise a minute ago, but
trying to get out.
I didn't see the dog, and so I didn't know if it was I didn't know if you were farting or if the dog was making a noise. And I wanted to say, do you have a dog in there with you, or what was that sound?
Well, if you see me
like farting and you were trying to keep it quiet.
Yeah, if you see me doing anything like that,
angle of attack.
Right. But the blue shirt that I told you about before, the one that I cut up, so I dressed badly and I cut my shirt up and I did the post tornado scene first, and then I showered and everything. I left the shirt that was torn up on the floor in my bathroom, and I was shooting all day, and then I forgot to go in there and clean it up. So my wife comes home and she goes, why is there a ripped shirt on the floor? And I was like, oh, I forgot I left that thing in the floor. Usually I clean up after myself, but she's like, well, why is it ripped? I'm just like, I was throwing it out. It was ripped in the drawer or whatever. I mean, I just didn't.
You don't want to know.
Didn't go there. I wasn't. Oh, here's why. Because I'm doing this video and I have to act like I was in a tornado, and I had to dirty my face up. And
you can't explain it. You can't explain it to people on the outside because it's like, it's going to take too long for you to not think I'm crazy.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
But now I am, because
at a level that's so deep that anytime we share anything like that, we're instantly going to be paranoid of their criticism. They criticize at a level no other human being
because nobody knows,
and not in a bad way, but it's going to make you feel real self-conscious about it.
Exactly. That's a great point. You're right on it. You and I are similarly creative brained, right-brained.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear any criticism of what you think I'm doing until you see it, and then you see it in context.
I don't even want the thought that you're criticizing it silently in the other room, because you know what I'm doing
while you're trying to work on it.
Let me do it, and then afterwards you can criticize it.
Or telling your friends, you should see what my husband was doing today. He had a ripped shirt on. He was filming.
He was outside with the dog with the Robert De Niro T-shirt on while the neighbors were coming home from work.
Right. And is he paying the bills this way? No, he's not. So why is he doing that?
Right. Well, how much money does he make from his parody videos?
No, and I actually spent money. Okay, so I spent $17 on someone to sing it. I spent $25 each on 2 shirts. That's $50. What else did I buy? Is that it? I think that's it. I think I spent $70 on that.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're probably pushing $100 by the end of the day.
Which is not bad though. I mean, it's a pretty good price to have a what I think is a quality video. And even if I don't have a big audience for it, it's there forever. And
that's the thing. Yeah. I mean,
it's just there.
Even if you have to drop a Chris Benjo, to make something happen, it exists in perpetuity. And that's kind of the thing that we've, really clung to with our channel, especially with some of our interviews that don't get a lot of traction. It's like, if we just stay the course though, eventually people are going to find these things.
Well, look at Mr. Beast, right? Mr. Beast, when he finally became famous, now everybody goes back and watches all the ridiculous videos he did. And now they're all at millions and millions of views. And they were just him reading the dictionary, literally reading the dictionary for 15 hours straight, right? You know what I'm talking about?
No, I did not know that.
You know who Mr. Beast is?
Yeah.
So his first videos on YouTube were, I will read pages 1 to 400 in the dictionary, and he sits there and literally just reads it. And you're like, what? And people watch it. And then he did one where he goes, I'm going to count from 1 to 100,000. And he just sits backwards and he goes 100,000, 999,999, 999,998. And he just, and by the, and then you like scrub through the video like 5.5 hours later, 4,209. He's like all slumped in a corner, 4,208, 4,207. And he literally does the whole thing. And there's, I guess, I don't know why people would watch it, but there's a fascination with like, did he really do this? And
yeah, that's true.
People watch it.
Well, and there's probably also some like Spurglord ASR thing into it where like you listen to it and it helps you go to sleep at night, or it calms the demons in your brain. It's like, oh, I could listen to a guy read the dictionary for 5 hours. Like Asperger's.
Oh, Spurglord. Got it.
Where's our beat button? Where is it? We don't have it.
No,
oh well.
No.
We don't have the beat button.
Oh, the beat.
I'm actually gonna slide to my right and just put this shirt back on before I for the show ends and I walk out.
Oh yeah.
So keep talking. Tell me
no, it's okay.
And I'm gonna just put this back on. Keep going. Hold on.
I'm gonna check something real quick.
I can double check on my phone. Let's see.
The other thing is I don't keep this in my shirt drawer. I keep it in that closet behind me. Because I don't know, my wife put some shirts away after doing laundry, and what's this one? You don't wear this one very often. I gotta find the right occasion, though. I am gonna wear this out one day. I have to find the right occasion. We are big Sebastian Maniscalco fans.
Okay, he's funny.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a movie with De Niro. I don't know if you know. He's got a movie with De Niro coming out. De Niro plays his dad, who he always jokes about in his act.
Oh yeah,
It comes out in May, and we're all excited to see it. In fact, when I'm sitting outside the theater in the Taylor Swift video, the poster on the wall, this is, again, details. It's his upcoming movie.
Oh, that's
And then I made
genius.
a huge mistake, which nobody knows. When I'm in the theater and the locusts are swarming around and you see my head's really, the movie that's on the screen, I realized after I finished the video, that should have been his upcoming movie, because I put the poster of the movie as if I was sitting outside waiting for his new movie to come out. Yeah. And then I go in and I'm in the theater. What movie should be on the screen? The one that I'm supposedly coming to see. And I just put some clip of an old De Niro movie on. I have the trailer, which I downloaded. I could have put clips from the Sebastian Maniscalco movie up, and I didn't. And I was like, oh, I should have done that. And
it's one of those little details, man.
It doesn't hurt right, but I didn't do it, and it haunts me. Not haunts me. It bothers me. I shouldn't say it haunts me. It bothers me. Like that should be an image of, and maybe somebody would pick up on it. It might be one person that picks up on it. Oh, look, that's the Sebastian. That's his new movie, De Niro's new movie coming out on the wall outside the theater. He's waiting in line for, and then, oh, look, that's the movie he's watching in the theater. And it would have been like, talk about detail, like Easter egg almost. But I blew that one.
Your videos are really great. I still think that one of the most entertaining videos on your channel is the one where you interview Prince Andrew.
Yeah, love that.
So well done, hilarious, so good. But there's an obvious love of parody. You've always loved making parodies. You've always appreciated parodies. There's parodies in your book. Parodies are one of the things we love about Weird Al so much. Do you think that's your favorite thing about Weird Al? Why you're such a huge fan? Or is it just that plus like his writing, his slapstick, the movies that he makes? I mean, what is it about Weird Al that really attracts you to him?
I think, to get all deep here,
yes,
spiritual. Let's go to the spiritual place.
Right. I assumed you meant spiritually.
Yeah, well, we live in this world that I don't, there's so much crazy stuff and stress, and I just think, we all know that laughter is medicine, right? Yeah. Laughter it's proven scientifically that it releases things. I mean, but just, I don't like to take anything all that seriously, and I think everything is ripe to be made fun of. And so, again, I can write a joke, but I'd rather write a joke that makes fun of something of this world that we live in.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, so here's a song by Taylor Swift, and she's all introspective, and she's, it's looking. This is the world I live in, with the way people view me because I'm famous. That it's Robert De Niro. Loves Robert De Niro. Bleep that out, of course. But
let me put bleep it.
Bleep at 10204 or whatever it was.
I'll scrub it. I'll scrub it clean in the
back.
We'll
do it live.
damn, I don't know if I'm supposed to be watching my mouth. I mean, now that we're not on live, I guess I don't have to. But you
Your
can,
friend,
you
John.
have to remember what you got to go edit everything. But no, and just the Prince Andrew thing, it's just funny. Like, why wouldn't you take something that exists and just find a way to turn it on its head? These are all serious things. This interview Prince Andrew did, was so serious.
Yeah.
And he was such a moron in it. Like, he was trying to hide something that everybody knew he was guilty of, going to see Epstein and sleeping with 17. There's a photo of him with a 17-year-old girl. Hi, But anyway, just my neighbor was in London and I got his mail for him. He just texted me, "Can I come over and pick up the mail?" No, I'm on a show right now.
And ironically, how apropos that you would be,
Tell him you were talking to two guys who think that Charles III is the Antichrist.
I don't want to leave him hanging. I am home, but on a call. I'm going to say, I don't mind. Your viewers can be in on this too.
Tell him if he's
home,
got some cool stories about the Royals, then he can come over.
Yeah.
Tell him he can come over if he's got some of that sweet adrenochrome.
Yeah. Tell him to come on over and pull up a camera. Talk to us.
That's good because the dog will bark when he knocks on. The dog's not in the room. So he's all ties together here. The dog wanted out. The neighbor wants to come over.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to answer text when I'm on a podcast, but it buzzes on the watch, and you're like, "What is that? Is that my wife trying to tell me when are you going to be done?" Or is it the neighbor looking to get his mail? It's probably one or the other. So this is good. So you guys get all the insight into what's going on around
This
here.
is great. This is great.
The life of John Bernardo.
Let's talk.
I hope I answered your question. Did I answer your question about what the comedy is? Because it's just everything needs to be made fun of. That's really what it boils down to.
And you weren't even talking about sacred cows, so to speak.
No.
These are just, you're right. People take themselves way too seriously. People in the comments take them, not our patrons, but people who watch it after the fact that like to leave hit and run comments. They take it way too seriously. Lighten up.
Yeah. Drive-by draconianism.
Just going
the
through
whole
life
book there. I mean, the cancel culture book that's sitting on in front of your screen.
Just a typo. Yep.
That's exactly, and it just needs to be made fun of. And I don't think that was my motivation. It just hit me like, this is the culture that we live in. Like, why wouldn't you make fun of it? And game shows, people on every podcast say, why'd you make him a game show host? Because game shows are silly and this particular
they're inherently
game show,
absurd.
Yeah, right. This game show that he hosts where you pull a hat off someone's head and there's a question. I mean, it's just so stupid. Like, I can't.
Yeah, it's Wheel of Fish.
Yeah.
This is the world we live in. Like, we live in a world where you can turn on a show and watch a guy do a game show called Hats Off. I mean, it's just dumb.
Speaking of game shows, speaking of Wheel of Fish, the movie UHF. Get into the movie UHF. I want to get to that.
Yeah.
Because I watched it again we've seen it 100 times.
Yeah.
It has to be
I listened to
times.
the audio commentary today. That's how much I love.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
It's fantastic.
John, you've seen UHF?
I saw it a long time ago and I haven't rewatched it since, but in preparation for this, I went on YouTube and watched a bunch of clips just to jog the memory. Okay. So I don't remember every detail of the movie, but I obviously know what it is. And I'm interested to hear your take on it because I don't have the same reverence for it as I do for his song parodies, and there's reasons, but I want to let you go on.
And there's a song parody or two. I know there's one song parody like right in the middle of it. But I have so Jonathan is a super fan of the movie, as am I.
Yeah.
I'm gonna quiz Jonathan. I have some questions here about the movie UHF. Okay, these are.
I was not prepped for this, by the way.
No. These are some deep questions, and I wouldn't have got
UHF deep cuts.
I might get half of these.
Okay.
Without having, I watched the movie last night, so now obviously
I was going to. It just ran out of time, and
it's fine. But some of these you might get. I'm going to ask Jonathan some questions. Okay. And I'm not much of a game show host, not much of an MC or game show host or anything like that. But
can John participate in this?
Yeah, I'll ask them both to you. Okay.
Where's our buzzers?
Okay. Here you go. Question 1. And I'm going to add sound effects here. Question 1. How much money had to be raised to save U62?
$30,000.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not $30,000. Hold on. No, not $30,000. No.
All right, John.
My head goes to 400,000, but I don't know where I got that number.
No,
that's definitely not it.
It was $75,000. 75,000.
A Rolex.
Okay, go into that part.
Okay,
that's great. That guy,
the hobo.
He was able to purchase like 2,000 shares of the station and buy himself a Rolex, which is a hilarious moment. How was he able to do that? Go.
The penny. There was a wheat penny or a specific kind of penny that he got from J.R. Fletcher, who was like, "Oh, here's some spare change," and he's like, "Look, that penny you gave me was worth whatever," and he bought all that stuff.
That's right. That's right. It was the 1952 double die Denver mint penny. 1952 double die Denver mint penny. I believe is how he.
I don't remember. I don't remember any. I'm not going to get any of these right.
This is like these are really, really deep. Okay,
I'm just going to sit here like
John,
this for.
Do you remember? There is that scene in the beginning of the movie, or towards the beginning, where the hobo. I think it's him. He's sitting on the park bench with with
my kid's favorite part.
With the blind guy, and the blind guy has like a Rubik's cube, and he like does some moves, and then he's nope.
Is this it?
Yeah, is this it? Nope.
And the movie,
and it's like a tracking shot.
Yeah, it's a tracking shot, and the movie is just full of little things like that from start to finish.
Doesn't it? It starts with an Indiana Jones parody, right? Where you get the Academy Award.
Yeah.
Which I actually a little it's hard to do video parody because I just think you have to nail everything. And if there's 15 seconds in a row where you're not doing something, like when he reaches, I watched that again last night, and when this morning, and he reaches into the bag and pulls out the sand to weigh it. The joke is that he ends up just going, and he throws it to the side and takes it. But I'm thinking, like, without having remembered, I'm like, what's going to come out of the bag? There's something funny should come out of the bag. Like when he reaches in there, it should be popcorn or anything. I don't know anything but sand, because if you're gonna. Yeah, and that's so I'm like, you missed an opportunity there, and you missed an opportunity there, and you missed something. Like if you're gonna actually parody something, everything has to be funny.
Well, I'll tell you, these weren't parodies, but in my opinion, my favorite thing about UHF are all the commercials that they come up with.
Oh my god,
weird, crazy
Spatula City.
So
right.
there was one.
We sell spatulas.
There was one called.
And that's all.
Okay, here's the third question. One of them was for a funeral home called Plots R Us. With the backwards R. What in the commercial?
Yeah.
What were the two features mentioned for Plots R Us?
I know one of them because it sicks me out to this day, and it's the salad bar. Complimentary salad bar.
No points.
No, I'm just kidding. No, you got it. Where's the thing? There it is. You're exactly right. The salad bar.
Yeah. And the funny thing, I don't know if you remember that one or not, John, but there's that moment where like they show pictures of people at the funeral home, and there's just like this lady like sobbing while she's trying to eat a salad.
That's so funny to me. That's so funny. The other one was there's always plenty of free parking.
Yep, free parking. Yeah.
I love
and
that
it's just
so
like
much.
a bunch of limbs sticking out of the ground, like
you've tried the rest. Now try the best.
John, we love you, buddy. You are always so much fun to talk to, and we always have a great time. Just a Typo is the book. And then
but you were high-fiving. I'm sorry.
We'll high five. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah. Then,
what's happening right now?
I don't know. I'm off the rails, man.
John Bennardo is your YouTube channel, and then any websites, any place you want to direct people to where they can find out your stuff.
Well, if they want, again, the YouTube channel with my name on it only has the Prince Andrew and the Taylor Swift and that Suicide Charlie and a couple other old things. It's not like this is not a very popular channel or one that I do a lot with. But if you want to see some old stuff I did, there's a cocaine prank a prank phone call we pulled on. You guys probably would enjoy that as well, where we put a fake pile of cocaine under a payphone and filmed from a 9th-story window and told people, hey, can you find this drug for sell it? Anyway, so that's got a bunch of fun stuff. But the book, get the book, read the book, get the audio book. You'll really enjoy it. That's it. I'll keep that succinct.
Awesome.
John
Bernardo, this has been a great time. Thank you so much, my friend. It's
Thanks,
good
guys.
to talk
Thanks
to
for
you
letting me ramble.
Absolutely. We look forward to next time. Yeah. All right. Well, there it was, everybody. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for joining us tonight. We hope that you all had a great time. And don't forget to like and share, subscribe, do all that stuff. But we're just really grateful that you were here tonight.
Yep.
So, we're happy to move along for the week.
Absolutely. And we look forward to seeing you guys here next week too. And yeah, and if you wouldn't mind, just hit the like button real quick, because it really, really, really helps. So we love to toast out of these new mugs that we designed. You guys should get you some. Go over to our Teespring page Get you a mug. Oh, dude, we got T-shirts. We've got like duffel bags, all that
Towels.
kind of stuff. Anyway, we
Yeah.
have really enjoyed bringing you this interview. We hope you guys got a lot out of it, and we will be here next week.
Yep.
And hope you guys have a very blessed week.
Absolutely. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Nick.
We are the Goslings. Go forth
and strike down the darkness.
Nice.